Have you guys ever had that one friend that is a crash out? I mean, I've had a couple, and I still do have a couple of friends who's a crash out. But this crash out, this type of crash out, it's meticulous. It's almost premeditated. That not the type where you don't know what you were thinking about doing that at that moment, but you just does it. And this one is a bit more meticulous and calculated than anything. This type of crash out scares me the most because you know the person is not gonna feel, they're not gonna have any remorse for this, for their actions. That's just how it is. And this one fits a lot of, and this in today's review of hanime is Shihai no Kyoudan. Now we have the first case being Miss Hanamori. Miss Hanamori is a redhead. She looks very tall. She looks like she's about 5'7", G cup, and looks like she's about 150 pounds, if so much. But yeah, anyways, we have Sakashita and then we have Miss Hanamori. This is the first case of his revenge, apparently. I'm not sure. I'm not even sure if it's to call it revenge or crash out because the way he was talking, because they were talking and he was like, well, it's your fault because my girlfriend rejected me and all those who I used to care about rejected me. Basically, they treated him like an outcast. And that's why he's taken up his plan to form his revenge, apparently, against people, even people who had nothing to do with it. That's the craziest part. The fact that he's taking out his frustration and crashing out on people that had literally nothing to do with it. Well, except the ones that we're going to involve in this series. And I believe this is a 4-part series. And trust me, it's going to get a whole lot wilder. Especially with the blondie, though. I'm not going to spoil it. Not going to spoil it just yet. But anyways, she is like, well, listen, all right. Well, here's what I'm going to do. We're going to do this one-time thing. The only time thing. And that's it. This is going to be first and last. Little did she know that he was going to use some kind of way as a form of manipulation. He was going to find a way to manipulate her somehow. And he did. He did find a way. And trust me, you know what they say in life? Where there's a will, there's a way. And yeah, this is what he did. After they did what they did, he took a picture of her as a way to keep her in line, let's just say. And afterwards, things took a dread turn, and it all started to become more like ridiculous at this point. And bro was like, this is like the I wouldn't say like the school shooter version, but I would say because he used a different gun, if you know what I mean. But yeah, I think this is actually becoming a bit interesting to say the least. And the fact that he actually took it upon himself is what scares me the most with this guy. And of course, we gotta have that legendary feature on this character's design: no eyes, smirk, and just downright mysterious. So, anyways, I believe that's it for I don't think there's much backstory into this, honestly. And yeah, without further ado, let's get right into this. Also, before we continue, I would like to also say that I like the way they like these type of animes that's have like a context and they give like the background of the characters, age, height, profession, what they do for a living, and what are their habits too. That is crazy. I think they should bring back those type of series where they will give like background information on the characters. And even Kanojo no Max Hat also did this, and I think that's awesome. But anyways, that is it for the context, and without further ado, let's get right into this episode.
エラチオ。
定額になる前に言ってくれたよね。私にできることなら何でもするって。
ですが、私は教師ですよ。学生とそんなこと。
仲いいやつに避けられ、彼女に振られ、3日でこんなに変わるのかと思った。別に先生のせいじゃないけどさ。
わかりました。ですが、今回限りです。こっちも終わりました。坂下くん、最後に一つだけ。こういうことはこれっきりですからね。
約束は守る。先生へのお願いはこれで最後だ。明日からはいつも通りに。
それじゃ、 私は行きますね。あなたも下校時刻なんですから、早く帰るように。
わかってるよ。それじゃ。まったく人のいい先生だ。
ちょっと待ってください、坂下くん。
ああ、花森先生。何かよ。
何かじゃないです。さっきの授業の課題、あれは何ですか？
先生がモデルの人物画のこと？
それはわかりますけど、見たままを描くのにどうして裸なんですか？
心の目に映った先生を見たままに。
そんな目はすぐ閉じてください。あんないやらしいポーズに胸だってあんな。
胸って95の G でしょ？サイズ。
ぴったり当てないでください。
言わなきゃいいのに。
もういつも先生をバカにして。
してないよ。立派な大人だって思ってますって。
そういうことは胸じゃなく顔を見て言ってください。もう。
Alright, that is the end of the clip. I'm not saying I forgot to mention this part, but apparently the reason why he's crashing out, I'm not saying it's right. No, don't get me wrong. It's not right to be crashing out for no reason, let alone even if there was a reason. But I completely understand. But anyways, I forgot to mention this little detail, but yet so important. So apparently the reason why this whole thing started is because she promised him she would do anything for him. This was prior of him getting suspended for 3 days. Now, there was no explanation as to what he did to get suspended. But yeah, he got suspended and he was like, well, who would have thought things could change within 3 days of my suspension? And this is where she started to pay her debt. And of course, you think that's gonna end right there? Oh man, trust me. And she's gonna be the whole, I wouldn't say the catalyst, but I would say she's like the accessory of his revenge plan. Because he's gonna be the whole catalyst of this whole thing. And what makes it even worse is the fact that she, I mean, come on, let's just get there. Let me be honest with y'all. Don't ever try to promise anything to someone, especially if you say that you're gonna do anything for that person, because anything could be anything. It has a whole wide range of things, even if you don't wanna do it. You just have to because you already promised the person. And now it's like an expectation from the other party to be like, okay, so you already gave me this promise, you're gonna have to meet that goal. Regardless of my request, no matter how ridiculous or diabolical or insane it is, you're gonna have to meet that goal. And this is why you don't just promise anything to anyone, because let alone tell them that you're gonna do anything for them. Yeah, that's like signing a deal with the devil at this point. And this is what she did. So now she has to pay the debt. I'm not gonna lie, who knew 3 days turned into an eternity? Hey, this guy is crazy, by the way. And trust me, he's not gonna stop. And he doesn't just stop with her. He has like 3 other targets. And now we're not sure what the other 3 has in store for us. What are their backgrounds and what are the the origins, but we're gonna find out in episode 2. So yeah, that is it for me. That is it for this video, guys. And yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments. I mean, I know this is something some of y'all have seen and some of y'all have not seen in a long time. And again, I haven't seen this show in a while, and I've watched this episode or all 4-part series at least 3 times. Especially when that whole drought had happened during the pandemic. Trust me, that was like crazy. That was like a crazy, like the last 3 years. Those 2 years was crazy. The fact that we didn't have any new content and all of that, that was wild. But anyways, thank you all so much. Have a good one and look out for part 2 and peace out.